This spring, it's been a different Andrew this spring. I think coupled with just a lot of injuries and things last year that he went through and some setbacks, and he just didn't play well. Bottom line, and I see a different look in his eye right now. I think this spring he's really taken a step forward with his leadership, his attitude, his mentality. He's got that eye back. That, Yeah, and I think, losing Nolan Turner, who had been here and was right there next to him, that could, his freshman year and could tell him everything to do, I think was a big help his freshman year. He just had to go out and play. And this year, or last year, he had to take on a more of a leadership role, and it was just a little bit too much. And but right now, he's in a whole different place. Well, first is weight. He's up to about 190 pounds right now from last year where he was about 180. So he's up 10 pounds. So the physicality of the game, which, to protect his body and that sort of thing, he's really turned it up in the weight room. I mean, he's at the early a.m. workout every morning and just getting after it. And, it's been really fun to see. Well, we don't plan to put him at corner this year. I can tell you that. We want to put him in a spot, the strong safety or the nickel, and let him play. He's a talented young player, and we all got to remember he's still a young player last year. Still learning and learning technique and that sort of thing. And I've really seen improvement this spring in his man technique. Just his footwork. It's a lot more fluid, fast, and just confidence. I think he lacked a little bit of confidence last year. He had a dislocated elbow and a hurt ankle and a knee, and just some things that it's hard to play when you're not with that kind of speed and the skill that he plays with. It's nice when you can use all your limbs. I think at the end of the season, I think the depth we're going to have at corner helps us as well. We've got some guys at corner that are that are stepping up and doing a really good job. And you saw the way Nate finished the year last year, and Toriano is really coming on, and some of those other guys at corner. We just have a little bit more depth there this year and more experience. So we feel like we can really let Andrew, play what he came here to play and play at a high level, and he's going to do that.
Yeah, I was mentioning a couple times this spring about kind of disappointment with how our pass defense was last year. What did you all identify with issues from last year?
Say that again.
Like issues like with giving up big plays in the passing game and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think being disciplined with your eyes, getting your eyes on the right thing. I think alignment has a lot to do with it. Where you shade players, and just belief. This program's built on belief, and these guys got to believe they're the best when they step out there on the field. So, and making plays, and you take a few games, and they were a lot worse than others, and it really piled on us. But you can look at errors all across the board from safety to corner to linebacker, underneath passes, screens. There were just a lot of things that we got to get cleaned up and get better at, and and getting pressure to the quarterback, and stopping his time and getting hands on receivers and knocking speed off of routes, rerouting guys. I think that's really important, to do, being aggressive, not sitting back waiting to make a play, but having the mindset, I'm going to make the play, and that's our job as coaches. We got to get that mindset where it needs to be, and that's what we're going to do. Yeah, anytime you bring in two new corners that are, really just getting started and learning the position and that sort of thing, I think it. And you lose a guy like Booth and Mario Goodrich, those two pretty good corners, and then you break in some new guys. But hey, look, they got better, as the year went on. They got better, but we got to continue to get better, and I've seen that so far this spring. So, we just got to keep working. We got to keep grinding. They got to get in the film room. They got to study receivers. They got to do all the little things outside the field work that we're doing to get better as well. And that's one of the things I'm seeing. I'm seeing growth in just as a whole defense of guys getting in there and really understanding how important it is to study and learn the opponent.
When you went back and just evaluated everything last year, you and Wes, is there anything schematically you feel like you got to do differently on the back end? Or do you feel good about it?
Well, I mean, we just got to make plays. I mean, a lot of the same things that we've been doing in years past. I mean, we didn't change a whole lot, but, players got to make plays. You changed two inside linebackers, too. I mean, we had brand new guys inside, but, I mean, there's no excuse. We got to get those guys ready. They got to be ready to play. And, I think with Wes being his first time calling the plays, he's learned a ton, and just about what it takes, and he's a smart man, and he's doing a good job this spring getting us right where we need to be. So, I'm excited about where we are right now, but we still got a lot of work to do. R.J. Mickens is a playmaker, and he's got to be on the field somewhere, and he can play strong safety, he can play free safety, he can play the nickel, he could play will linebacker if we needed him to. In our dime stuff, he can play the dime. He's just a really smart player, and athletically he's getting better and better and better. I mean, he's 212 pounds. I think he's gotten a little bit taller. I mean, he's 6'2" right now. He's running well. He's getting stronger. You just see a change in his body, but he understands the game really well. He's a really smart, cerebral player. He recognizes formations, and he understands scheme really well. And of course, he's got a background with his dad being in the NFL, and he came from a great program out in Texas, so he's been coached well all the way up. But man, I'm excited about what he brings to the table. He's a really good player and can do a lot of things to help us.
Coach Clemson's had the high school coaches clinic going on the last 2 days, both as a college coach and someone who's a former high school coach. What does that opportunity mean for coaches to come together and learn from each other?
I think it's great, for the high school coaches to get out here and see the different drills that we do, to see different coverages, just speaking defensively, to see the schemes and kind of compare it to what they do. And then with our breakouts, I like the way Coach Sweeney does it. We have breakout sessions at night, so we're able to sit down with these coaches. They're able to ask us pointed questions on exactly what they are having struggles with, and then we can get on the board and show them how we've tweaked something, because usually the same struggles they have, we've had or worked through or been to another place and learned from to try to fix it. So it's really good. I think it's great that these high school coaches are trying to get the professional development and to get better, and that works on all three facets of the game. I think some of the other talks, like when Coach Peace came in here and talked just 50 years of coaching, and from high school to college to the NFL, and just his advice to young coaches about, just be where your feet are and be the best that you can be where you're at. I think it was really good, a good talk. We've had a lot of good speakers this week. It's been a fun coaches clinic. Well, we've had, absolutely. Colin Griffin has really he's really stepped up. He's in a whole nother stratosphere than he was last year. You know, really smart player, similar to R.J. Mickens, understands the game, understands what to do. So I've been really pleased with his progress. So he's done well. And then Khalil Barnes, they call him KB, but he's mid-year, and I've been extremely impressed with his ability to pick up on the defense, his footwork, his speed, change of direction, his coverage ability. I mean, he's going to be a good one. And Conn Webb, the other mid-year that we brought in, I've been really excited and pleased with him. You know, he missed all of last season with a broken wrist, and he's coming back from that, and it's just amazing his growth from day one to where we are right now in spring ball. But those are a few guys that have really stood out. Colin Griffin, I think just confidence. I think an understanding of scheme. You know, when you come in the summer, you know, everything is amped up. You know, if you can make it to the spring, you can kind of get spoon-fed a little bit. But when you get to the summer and to fall practices, I mean, it's hard because we got to get ready to play. We got to get ready to win, so you don't get as many reps, so you don't get as many opportunities to be seen. First of all, so it's nice to have a guy like Colin Griffin who accepts that role and goes out there on the scout team and just does the very best he can do every day. And then when I do pull him on the varsity field, he's over there and just, you know, and he's studying on his own, he's learning on his own, he's just doing a really good job. You know, playing safety's hard. You gotta be good in the run. You gotta be able to tackle, but at the same time, you gotta be able to cover like a corner. So, you know, watching his coverage ability from where it was when he first got here, because that is one thing he does get to do in the summer. But watching what he's done this spring, you can tell he's really worked on his trade, his craft at getting better in his man coverage. So that's been something that I've really stood out to me. That's really stood out.
You have a position where you brought back basically everybody from last year. You know, how much competition do you envision going forward into this season?
Well, I hope a lot. You know, I hope a lot of competition. These guys, they need to earn every second that they get to play, and I want the best player on the field, and that's everything taken into account. And competition brings out the best in people. The good thing about my group is they all pull for each other, you know, and they all have a good attitude about it, and you know, but hey, the best player's going to play, and you know, when they get their reps in practice, when they get their reps in one-on-ones, when they get asked questions in meetings, when they get to play in the game, whether it's on special teams or anything, everything counts. Everything matters, and man, I think it's going to bring the best out in them. So I'm excited about that.
So do you view JP and Andrew as entrenched as starters, or do you consider those positions open?
I think everything's open till you play the game. I mean, you got to run somebody out there first, but I mean, you know, we got to do better. We got to do better than we did last year. So, you know, if somebody steps up and takes their job this spring, then that's on them. If those guys keep their jobs this spring, then that's on them. You know, it's up to those kids. They're going, and what I've seen this spring so far, man, they're fighting for those jobs, and we ain't letting nobody get comfortable. That's for sure. You know, we want them to earn everything. We'll watch the film. We'll grade the film. We'll watch it together. We'll talk it together, and there ain't no bias about it. You know, best man plays.
You mentioned being RJ on the field. Do you envision maybe playing more three safety looks, or having to play three safety on the field more often?
You know, it just depends on – the game's become such a space game. It just depends on what we decide to do with that nickel. I mean, you know, and what teams we're playing. You know, if they're going to run the ball a lot, we're going to play with Sam. If they're going to throw the ball a lot, we're going to play with another DB on the field. You know, it's just Nothing really any different than we've done in the past. But, you know, at the same time, if that nickel's a safety and he's better than the nickel that's the linebacker, then he needs to be on the field playing. You know, we just want to get the best 11 on the field for the situation, for the down, the distance, and the position in the game, and who the winners are.